All right. What is up, everybody? And we are here back in DCS. Let me try to do something here really quick. Just give me 1 second. I didn't want this thing to record, and it actually started recording. So hopefully it's going to be a black screen here just for a split second. Let's see. There we go. We just want to stream. And I believe we've got an issue here with our flight controls. So let me fix something here for you guys. Anyway, welcome back, guys. It's been quite the struggle. We've been having some problems with DCS, but hopefully I got it kind of figured out. So I just need to bring your wheel control in, which is actually not the wheel control. It is labeled as wheel control, but it's actually the joystick here. All right, we are good to go. And as we get ready to proceed, appreciate everybody checking in. Bakazato's in the house. Appreciate you, big up. Let me respond here to the wifey. All right. So today, guys, we are just going to be doing some target practice. You guys know normally I fly with Joystick 86, but in this occasion, he is actually doing somewhat of some surgery to his computer, so we most certainly will not have him in the stream here today because he is handling that. Little black screen there for you really quickly as we jump back into DCS. I don't know why it does that, but we're ready to go. That's right, the beta. Anyway, we are in here on the multiplayer, guys, and we are ready to get it in. So if it crashes on us for whatever reason, we'll just jump into another mission that I have put onto the DCS. I literally had problems with this the other day. I downloaded this thing, re-downloaded it. Uninstalled it, re-downloaded it, and then just kept trying. So I think I just did some optimization. It works. We are using the SRS, which is a standalone radio system for this aircraft. So without further ado, let's start getting some things loaded on here. So today we're on the Marianas training map in the Hoggett server, and we are just going to be doing some target practice here today, guys, just to hone in our skills, because training never stops, man, especially as complicated as these aircraft are. So we're just going to load some stuff up here, and again, hope the sim doesn't crash, but if it does crash, I'll put you guys in a waiting screen and we'll load something else up. I promise you that is what's going to happen. Let's put some deltas on here, guys, on this side. We're going to come to this third pylon on the right, pylon number 3. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to load them up with deltas as well. And we may even be coming back to do a rearm and refuel once we get done with the first 3 sites, which we should definitely do that. And don't forget, this is a training range, but we can also be shot down. So these targets, it's not a real training range. These folks actually do still shoot back. And actually, you know what? We're going to be hitting a bombing range, so I'm going to do CBU 97s on all these pylons here. We'll get some cluster bombs in there for some max chaos. So we'll do CBU 97 there. So we're pretty loaded out here, guys. Look, we're at 50,000 pounds. Good thing is this is a smaller training area, so we don't need to take as much fuel. But if we want to stay on station, we'll definitely come back and rearm after we do the first 3 ranges here. So we're going to be heavy, so it's going to be a longer takeoff. If you look here, the weight is 46,365. Total weight we can take off is 46,476 pounds. So we're loaded up here. Pylon 10 is our TGP targeting pod. Pylon 9 is 65 deltas, air-to-ground missiles. Same thing as Pylon 3. Pylon 8 and 4, these are CBU 12s, laser guided bombs, 3 stack per each pylon. And then this here are GBU 97s, which are generally cluster bombs. And we reduced our fuel, and we do have a combat mix of ammo in here. And you can see we have flare and shaft, which are used for evading radar as well as oncoming missiles. So we'll go ahead and request that refueling there, guys. And yeah, we're going to be take it out. All right, Dre, let's make sure we bring it back home safe in one piece, man. I hope we do. I really hope we do. So now that noise that you hear, that is them actually refilling the aircraft. So let's go ahead and get some power on it now. Now that we've requested our goodies. inverter can come on. Alright, inverter is on. Let's go ahead and start the APU. Let's look up and over. Okay, APU is coming up and on. We'll endure the loud noise outside for now. We got to come down here and make sure this gets into the 100%. And then we'll also check our radios. So we'll go over SRS and kind of what that means to everybody. Alright, APU power can come on. Now we can turn our CDI on here, or CDU, as well as IGI, which that's the form of navigation that we use with the data cartridge. And of course, we're going to turn on our KICU, our JTARs, and our IFCC into the test mode. We're going to get our screens all the way up and on to daytime mode, since it is daytime mode. And we're going to come up here and start that pre-flight bit. Pre-flight bit is starting. In the meantime, let's keep rolling. Because they're rearming the aircraft now as well. So by the time that gets done, we can load our cartridges. We also need to come down here and get all of our radios turned on.
Complete.
Okay, refueling is complete. Now they're going to start the rearming. Alright, bada bing, bada boom. Okay, we've got TR, main, and TR. These are our frequencies. And now you can see right up here, we'll do our radio checks. You can see this little overlays come alive. 124, 25, and 300.
Pull up, pull up.
So the top one is the VHF AM, the middle is the UHF AM, and the bottom is the VHF FM, guys. And these are already pre-programmed right here. So Geo in the house, man. Let me see what you guys are saying. I had to switch the computer to the other side. Okay, rearm is complete. So we'll do a radio check here in a minute. Let's go ahead and cycle down. Alright. Bada bing, bada boom. Now that that's done, we can put the IFFCC into the up position. And we can start, let's acknowledge this message here, down here in the left MFD. And we can most certainly start loading all. We also need to get our secondary backup PFD or horizon up to where it needs to go. And once all the asterisk comes back here, we'll be able to continue loading the aircraft systems. As you can see, they just returned. So what you want to do is hit this DSMS, which is a digital storage management system, and you'll see everything that we have loaded up is supposed to be there. So let's go ahead and turn on our EO timer, which has to do with our laser and the Maverick Seeker head warming up. Target on, and now we can come over here to CDU, and we're going to look at the IRS is aligning right now. So we need to wait till this T equals 4.00.8, and it'll be blinking INS ready. So in the meantime, guys, we're going to do our radio check. There are some folks here that we can check out. So let me just get the situation going here. Okay, you guys are hearing good. And let us do a little check here. Give me 1 second here and make sure my wife's not texting me anything about the stream. How is your daughter? You stream me later. I didn't get the ortho. That's green light. I'll talk to him in a second. Maybe once we get in there, I can text and fly. All right, let me keep it rolling, guys. So let's make sure we do this radio check. We're going to do a radio check on the UHF radio, which is the radio 2. Any station is net radio check over. They may or may not respond. Any station is freak radio check. And if they don't, no big deal. We'll also check on the bottom radio. And any station is net radio check over. It is working though. You can see here this 2 means there's 2 other folks on this radio frequency, and this 3 means there's others. But nonetheless, the radios are working, so sometimes they'll radio check you, or they may not be in a range. So let's actually get rid of that overlay now that we know our radios are working. And let's continue to get the aircraft all situated here. We don't need to worry about this. We are literally just waiting for this INS to align, and while we're doing that, let's go ahead and go for our right engine start. Okay, the ramp area is clear. Alright, we do have rotation on the right engine. You can also observe if you go outside, you can see that bad boy spooling up right there. Alright, now you can clearly see the INS is flashing that it is INS nav ready and it's aligned. So we're going to go from the ground alignment and we're going to come over right over here to click on nav, and then we're going to put our direction or mode of navigation into the IGI, and we're going to select steer point, and then we're also going to activate the flight plan down here. Bada bing, bada boom. And we're also going to put our CDU into the steer so that it reflects steer waypoint information on the CDU here and up here. And we're also going to put this into the flight plan so that our waypoints are following the flight plan. Okay, we got a good start on the right engine, so let's go ahead and start the left engine. Left engine is starting. Alright, green light says, what's good, fam, in chat? Hey, green light, yes, I'm still going to be streaming later, green light, so we can still do some X-Plane 11 if you want, green light. This ain't going to be the only stream I'm doing today. I might be up late, y'all, because my kids don't have school tomorrow. So, thanks, everybody, for checking out in the chat. Appreciate everybody. We're just doing some, you can hear another aircraft somewhere. We're on a multiplayer server in DCS. Oh, there he is right there. There goes another A-10 taking off. So that's another pilot training as well. And then you can see someone else just spawn right here. So there he goes. Little plane spotting here for you guys. And he's out of here. Alright guys, back into our cockpit to double check the engine. And we have a start on 2 good engines. Pressures look good. RPMs look good. Temperatures look good. Let's go ahead and turn off that APU generator now and come back on this side, and we're going to do the APU start to off. And we are also going to turn our EAC on, which has to do with our navigation here. Let's see. Okay, it'll probably work for us here in a second. Let's see, IGI, steer point. Sometimes it won't work, maybe because the canopy's open, so let's go ahead and get that canopy closed. And I guess everyone's using the 2-4 runway, so I guess that's what we'll use. Alright guys, let's go ahead and oh, I know why the IGI's not done, because the EAC will not allow us to do anything until we turn our hydraulics on here for our pitch and our yaw. Now it will come on, guys, no worries there. Now it's on. So there's other little things. Let's arm our emergency ejection seat. There's little things on the aircraft that sometimes it will not let you do unless you are ready, unless you have done a certain thing. Alright guys, so without further ado, let's also go ahead and get our lights on for taxi, which means we're going to put our anti-collision into the steady. And we can leave anti-collision off. Let's go ahead and turn our pitot heat on, as well as let's get our system over here for evading enemies and enemy radar and jamming them turned on here. Okay, we're going to get this into the semi mode. Let's double check our battery panel. Inverters on, APU's off, battery power's on, left and right, generators are on. Let's go ahead and do our oxygen test. We should get a warning up here to start flashing. There we go, oxygen test is complete. Let's also get our trims to where they need to be. We'll do our warning lamp test first. Okay, that's good. That's just a test to make sure all our lamps work, and then our trims are hiding way back over here. You basically hit this and it lines your trims up. Now you can see here on the flaps, we're going to go ahead and select our flaps down. Alright, flaps are coming down. Flaps are to take off, and of course you don't see anything here called nose wheel steering, so let's get that on. It'll activate right now. Bada bing, steering is engaged, guys. Let me check you guys out in the chat here. It's going to be a little bit different today. Fires says, sup Dre, sup Bakazato, sup everyone, sup Fires, how you doing? Alright guys, again, we are online in the DCS multiplayer servers. We are on the Hoggit server for the Marianas training map, and we're gonna hopefully have a successful run here on this first one. We'll come back and rearm. Everything on these panels here looks good. We'll make our call outs, and yeah, let's see here. I don't even know what taxiway this is, but this is the south ramp. Let's see, that's Golf, and looks like Alpha. Little stutters there, that's always concerning. Alright, but again, if we crash this, we're online, so I'll just go ahead and go to a different, I'll just load up something, because I have been having problems with this online, guys, so I'll just go ahead eventually and load up something else. Alright, now let's go ahead and activate steer point 1 up top using our DSM forward short. And you guys are going to notice that for those that you are trying to learn this, I'm going to be using some of the HOTAS commands that we have on our controller. So without that being said, guys, let's go ahead and do our flight controls check and let's get out of here. Rudder right, rudder left, toe brake right, toe brake left. Alright, let's go ahead and look at our surfaces. Alright, guys. Now, nothing but to do it. Let's get our landing light on and let's make our call. Anderson traffic 810C2 taxiing from the south ramp to runway 24 for departure out to the west for Anderson traffic. Alright, guys, let's pull them up. Welcome aboard, guys. Alright, I actually didn't mean to hit that. I forgot that the radio menu always comes up. And I'll try to talk to you guys more in the air. I ain't gonna lie, it's gonna be a little bit more difficult. Plus, I'm worried about if this thing crashes on me or not. So, hopefully we only get micro stutters and we don't get anything else, guys. Again, I'm just pre-warning you, it could crash on us. I'll put you guys into the, oh, there was a little something. I'll put you guys into the standby window and I'll try to load a mission that's actually on my system. Provided it doesn't crash OBS as well, because sometimes it will crash OBS as well. If it does, I'll be back streaming later or something else, as I am going to get a successful stream of something today. So it's definitely time for me to get that new computer, guys, because you know, for DCS, which usually traditionally ran easier on my system to crash, that's cause for concern. Now, even though we're going to depart to the west, we're going to make a turn still to the south. So we'll taxi pretty much all the way down. And not bad, we're getting 57 frames from the broadcasting software, so that's actually a good sign. Alright, fires, Bacazzato, everybody. Once I get in the air, I'm able to do a little bit more focus on the computer screen. It's just different in DCS because you can't be as interactive as you can in, let's say, like X-Plane and all that. But we will get up to autopilot and cruise and all that stuff, and I'll be checking you guys out. I promise I'll do my best. Right now, our main focus is getting onto our targets. Let's set that altimeter for 29 or 88. Alright, we're coming to the end of the runway here. Or into the taxiway, I should say. And then we'll be immediately taking off. Let's make some announcements. Anderson traffic, A10C2 will now be at the base of runway 24 left, taking out with a turn to the south for Anderson traffic. Alright, guys, let us go ahead and get our landing lights on with one push of this switch here. And let's get in there. Let's check final. Final looks clear. I'm really checking because some of these guys, they don't talk, and you will collide with another aircraft and be done for. Alright, runway and final definitely look clear. Let's double check our pitos on. Okay, we're getting ready to enter the runway. Anti-collision can come on, which it is. And we only have one more check to do, which will be our speed brakes. So let's go ahead and start our soft little left here to line up. And speed brakes are coming up on the wing. Okay, we're seeing full up on the left side, full up on the right side. And then now as we line up, we bring those back. Speed brakes are down and checked and verified. Let's line up appropriately here, guys. One more check of the flight controls. Flight controls have been checked, guys. Pick up power set. Nose wheel steering is disengaged. Airspeed is alive. 80 knots. Cross check. Now it is a chore to keep this thing center line like this, so don't think this is how easy it is, because it's not. 140 knots. Cross check. We're doing it longer. We're going to get to about 160. 160 cross check. Nice and back on the flight stick. No tail strike. Gear is coming up. Flaps are coming up. Alright, guys. Up we go. We got a nice turn to the south as promised. And we are airborne, guys. Now what we're doing is we're going to get a little bit away from our first target area, which isn't that far from here, so we're going to trim the aircraft out. Let's get over this water. Again, guys, this is the Marianas map. This is an add-on. I don't mind the micro stutters as long as we don't crash, guys. As long as we don't have a crash. And if we do, we'll be back in another DCS aircraft. We'll just change the title of it. And because I do have a mission that's not online, it doesn't require so much of the computer usage, where we've been having problems. Alright, guys. Okay, so we're out to the east. The plane is pretty much trimmed. I like our speed. Let's go ahead and get fenced in, guys. Now what we're going to do is, first of all, we're going to come turn our master on. We're going to turn the gun pack on, and you're going to notice a slight dip. Okay, that's no big deal. There's our dip. Let's get our AGMs all together, because remember, these target areas, which I haven't been the best at the past, you want to keep your distance because they can't kill you. They will shoot back, folks. So let's do our setup, which a lot of people don't do this part of it, but I always do, and I find a little bit more success in the weapon setting these basic parameters up. Now that the Maverick is all set up, guys, we're going to come over here and put our Maverick on so that can start warming up, as well as our TGP. And we're going to get our targeting pod on, and we're going to go up to about 5,000 feet. Right now we're at 4,100, climbing out smoothly. There's the coast over there, and we can also get our helmet on. One click here, and now you'll see some symbology. Here is the HMCS symbology, and you can see there is range 1 indicated as our #1 waypoint. So now what we're going to do is we're going to slave all of our sensors over there using China hat forward long. Now you see the TGP slewing over, and you can also see the Maverick is slewing over there as well, guys. Okay, where we're at now is about 5,000, so let's come off that autopilot and pitch down. Okay, and we're going to keep it off to our left at a distance. Right now we're about 10 miles out, so we're just going to do a slight soft left here, nothing too major, so our targeting pod can stay on there. Alright, we're going to come back into the autopilot, basically on this heading. About 5,500, 500 over where we want it, but that's okay. Nice smooth turn. Let's pitch the aircraft, trim the aircraft. Alright, we're trimming the aircraft nicely. So that putting on, see, I'm not doing anything. The autopilot hasn't been on yet. We got to do a little bit of a left trim there. And she's almost trimmed up how we want. Let's pull back on that power slightly, because we are kind of getting close to the target. So let's swing out a little bit. Alright, autopilot is engaged. Now what we're going to do is we're going to use our coolie hat right long to come over here, and we're going to use our China hat forward short to zoom in. And now we're going to pretty much be on target area number 1. Don't mind, that's the HARS picking up. So there's target area number 1. Let's also switch our, let's go to white hot, which is very easy to find targets. And now we can start basically slewing around to see what we have in the target area, guys. We may have to reposition our aircraft because I think we got a little closer than I wanted to. Okay, here's a bunch of vehicles right here that we can start lining up. And again, nothing major here, guys, just target practice is what we're doing. We're going to use TMS up forward short and then TMS right. That's one mark point we just made. Let's skip a vehicle so the mark points aren't as close together. DMS up forward, hold, and TMS up short, back to point, and right TMS short, just for selecting another target. And we're going to try to get on this guy as well, forward on the DMS I'm saying. And another mark point has been created with a TMS right short. So this is one of the things too, is that this mission is designed for you to go hunting. This is the easy range because there's really no, these targets will shoot back if you get close enough, but they're pretty much easy to find. TMS right short to create a mark point. So that's why this mission is the easy range, because we're just basically picking these guys out like a piece of chicken. Alright, TMS right short. Boom. Okay, I like those mark points that we created. Let's come swing back around. Let's do some work here. Let's go back up to the we're gonna go back up to the HUD as soy, and now we can come down here and put this on mark points, and the HUD is going to show our mark points. So we'll go back for mark point 1. Let's unlock what we have in the TGP, and now we're going to slew everything to that mark point. We're going to create a point of interest, and now we're going to slew everything over there. So we should have a slew target of 12 miles out, and we should get ready to do our runs now, guys. So let's swing back in. Let's pull the power back so we have enough time to get our angle of attack and our approach all situated. Alright guys, so we're swinging back around. So our goal is to get some targets off, turn back around really quick. We're gonna try to hit the targets at maximum range, guys. That's the whole goal. Now why this is happening, I'm assuming that everything's slave fight with my Maverick, slaved okay to my Maverick page. So I'm gonna go ahead and make the Maverick the one to see. Now that is called the sensor of interest. It should be already on the SPI. Altitude is about 6,000, which is fine. We're turning to about a heading of 330 to get this next target. And again, guys, know the capabilities of what you see come up on your RWR up there. And assume by no means that I'm an expert at this stuff here, guys. This is why I'm training. I want to be able to fly a little bit better with Leo Sticks 86. And in order to do so, you got to get out here and train, man. So that's what we're doing. Alright, looks like the Maverick has found its target, so and it's also slewed pretty good in the TGP, so that's a good thing. We're coming around to the target, and we've got about 13 miles to target, guys. So we're well enough out of the range of any type of weapons, and once we get about 6 miles in, we will be done. We're going to break out left again, back out to the south. So we'll be egressing south, guys. Okay, we're bleeding our speed a little bit. You can see there's that the target is indicated in the HUD with that circle and the little tadpole there, guys. That's what that is. So now I could even almost put this thing in an autopilot, which I just did. And now we can just kind of monitor our speed. I want to keep it right at 200. Let's take a look at this Maverick page. We're going to zoom in on it with one click, and you can see there should be a nice little target slewed in there. But if not, we can also double check it in the TGP. And yeah, that looks to be maybe not what we want. So let's come back over to the TGP. And is that a vehicle? That looked, actually no, that is a vehicle. It looked like a house there for a second. At closer review, it is actually what we want. Okay guys, look at this. This is coming in at the top of our range carrot of 8 miles out. So now we are going to start our assault. We're going to lock this guy up as soon as he gets to the top here of the range carrot. About 8 miles out, and 3, 2, 1. Alright, target is still not locking. Alright, let's dance it out again. Dance it back in. Okay, we're still not getting a lock. So let's try the slew method. Let's slew it to 1. There we go. We have a positive lock. Power up. Rifles. Okay, how close are we? We're 6 miles out. Let's go ahead and grab another guy. Okay, we're a little bit too close for comfort. So, let's break back out over the water. And we'll come back in. And we should have a good hit on the first guy. So we will swing back out. Right now, range to target is 5 miles, so that's a little bit too close. Remember, those guns can reach out and touch us. So we want to be responsible. Okay, we did destroy it. We did destroy it. So we got one vehicle destroyed, which is okay. I got on that missile a little bit late, but that's because we got a little too close. Alright guys, so I'm going to go back up to the HUD. Okay, which would be coolie, hat, up, short. I'm going to pull back on that power a little bit. Let's go into the autopilot mode, and let me check you guys out in the chat. Let's see, we got 7 up, Fires, Green Light, Bacazzato, Still parking the house up, bro, or it's Keyshawn. Doing good, he says it fires. Alright, y'all, thanks for checking out. Okay, guys, we're going to get a little bit away from the target, and then we're going to run back in. And let's go ahead and select, let's say, mark point C. And let's see how we do with that. This time we may end up using the TGP to slew a little bit closer if that's not exactly where we want our weapon to go. And we're about 8 out, so that's good for a nice little turn. Since we have some mark points, we can just turn and burn, guys. Alright, let's turn and burn. Nice level turn. We're also going to be looking at the TAD to see if give you guys a little bit of instruction on the TAD, which is the tactical awareness display. Once we select a couple of targets, give you guys an idea of what the TAD is and how to use it. Okay, look at that. That's the guy we just smoked right there, guys. He is on fire, so we did smoke him. So we're turning back in, guys. We are 10 miles from the target, which I like. Nice little run. Speed is right where I want, right about that 200 mark. And hopefully we will do some targeting with our helmet symbology there. Okay, there's that last target smoking. Okay, about 8 miles out. Let's go ahead and select that TGP. All right, and I'm just gonna hand fly it while we're doing this. This is what you're gonna have to learn to do too, guys. Let's get on this target right here. Just get right in on this target. Okay, go to point, hold it, and let's get that Maverick slaved over there. Maverick is slaved there, guys, so now we can recognize our range, 7 miles out. We got to get to work. Now we make Maverick soy, bring it in, PMS up, fire, make it again. Let's get 2 targets in there. Let's see if we can slew this other guy. Nope, that's the same guy we just engaged. All right, another missile away. Let's break off. Again, we're just doing target practice. I don't think I'm going to use any more Mavericks on this range because this range is pretty simple. Basically, it's stay away. We found the targets. We're making good decisions on our distance. We're at 4 miles. Again, a little closer in. You can see we just creamed that guy in the camera there. He is done for. And let's hopefully we get another good hit on another vehicle. So that's good hit. Shack one, and we just shacked another one. So we did, the missile hit the other one as well, guys. So let's guarantee that we are away from this waypoint, and we are. So this is the easy range, guys. Again, the targets were very easy to find, no problem. And notice a lot of people will use the F10 menu. I don't like using the F10 menu. I like to search for these targets either with JTAC information, which is realistic, or you got to hunt for these targets. But realistically, I can tell you that these targets most certainly will be either given to you by ground troops, JTAC, or you got to search for them. So the next one is the medium range, because we're actually going to have to search for them. So let's get into the autopilot feature really quick. Let's pull that speed back because we have to be cognizant of our speed. And we're going to put this back onto our flight plan. Back up to the HUD we go. Okay, back up to the HUD. Now you can see I'm going to use DMS up short, and it switches it to the medium range, which was 12 miles out. Now guys, I was talking about the TAD, which is the Tactical Awareness Display, okay? You can either use the line select key right here to do it, or on your coolie hat left short, it will select. You can go through it short. See that? We're just moving through the left MFCD. Now we're on the TAD. It's going to be coolie hat left long. You'll see the rectangle come in there. And then of course for me, it seems like that this is a little bit convoluted with information. We can declutter it, but I really don't need to know all of this now. I just need to know where that waypoint 2 is, a reference to where I'm at. So I'm going to get rid of the map, and I'm going to turn it off, so that way it gives me a better view of what I can see. And you can see right here, waypoint 2 is selected. And if I want to get information to that waypoint 2 in my TAD, I can just hover over it. I'm hooking it. Now you can see it's 58-degree heading, 16 miles off, guys. You see that? And the altitude of that waypoint is at 370 feet. So it does give you information. So right now, if I wanted to know which way to turn, I need to turn to a heading of 058, and it's 16 miles out. That's also verified by this. See that? It says 16 as well, guys. So the TAD is a very useful thing. And then here's another bullseye down here, which is kind of the mission center, which all of these points, targets, ranges 1, 2, and 3 are all in this area. That's why this is bullseye. So now that we have a good plan of attack, let's do a right turn, and we'll come to a heading of basically 150. Come out and come into the target, because we don't want to be over land where they can get us. And another thing that we need to check, let's go ahead and check our stores, guys. Let's go coolie hat left short. And look, we've got 3 Mavericks. That's why the plane is trimmed. You can see the other Mavericks are off their pylons. And we've got our 3 Mavericks. It's these green joints right here, guys. Okay? Alright, guys. Autopilot off. Let's prepare for our next roll-in. Now, the next roll-in, we're just going to do targeting. We're not going to do mark points. So we said we're going to come over to a southern heading of 150. And we're pretty good on the fuel. We'll find some targets in the medium area, and then we'll go to the bombing range, and then we'll RTB and figure out if we're going to go to the harder range or not, guys. So far so good. Keeping our distance is what we want to do. Turn to the south is what we wanted. And let's get our TAD back up. You can see our last victim over there still smoking in the TGP screen. Alright, I'm just going to hand fly it for now, guys. And let's go back to the left. Okay, we're going to use this for our situational awareness, guys. Okay, we're 21 out. So let's go ahead and make another right turn. Now you guys notice sometimes the HUD, when you go into the light, it actually, you can't see very well, so you better also get used to flying with this stuff down here when you're nose down in the cockpit. Okay guys, we're going to stable ourselves out at a heading of 210. Right now we are 20 miles to target. Now what we need to do is we need to unlock everything that was in the TGP, and we need to make the HUD soy. HUD is now soy, and then now we need to slave all of our, there we go, we are now slaved over to target area number 2. Okay guys, we are currently 19 out. We're going to put our plane, we're going to slow it down a little bit. I like this profile. Let's go hunting. Now this one is not going to be so easy. Remember, we're not using the cheat F10 menu, which a lot of people will use the F10 menu to acquire targets. I don't like that. I like to try to look for the targets naturally, or get information from ground forces or JTAC. Autopilot is engaged. Let's go ahead and select the doggone TGP. And now we're going to go hunting, guys. Let's pull that power back on the plane and also keep our distance 17 miles. And the target area is directly to the west. So pulling back on that power. And let's start hunting, guys. Again, it's not going to be easy. If we look with our helmet, you will see those waypoints way over there. That's where we are at right now. And there's that wedding cake, the white situation right there, guys. That is actually where our sensors are interested in right now. So now we need to look for these guys. So we need to get a bit of a view here, because we have to go hunting. Because they're not in an easy area this time. They're not just going to be chilling for you. Here they are right here, guys. I found them. Look at what we found. Ooh-wee. Oh. Let's see if we have anything with radar, which we don't. Okay, we got some track vehicles. Let's pick one out in the open here. Ooh, come to Papa right here. This is going to be our target right here, guys. It's a pretty good picture of what we got there. Let's go ahead and lock him up. Point track. All right, we're making him the sensor point of interest, and let's slew all of our weapons there. Now let's come over here to the Maverick page. Let's go ahead and slew our Maverick over where we need to be, and that should be good, guys. Range to target 14 miles. Let's start our run, guys. And let me check you guys out. Everybody there is looking good. Aviation 8 says good John, mate. Job, he says. Oh, appreciate it. All right, guys, autopilot's coming off. We're gonna roll in, guys. Now sometimes if you're higher altitude, you would invert yourself and roll hard to that direction, depending on what it was. Let's come on around, guys, and remember, we're keeping our distance, We do not, absolutely, I repeat, do not want to be in a situation where we're gonna get shot. And that's one thing that I'm training on. Let's pull that speed back, is being situationally aware of exactly where you're at. Let's go ahead and make that Maverick, let's go ahead and make that soy, and China hat forward short. And it looks to be we have a good lock on that guy. So we're going to only be doing one shots here. Remember, this is a medium range, so our plan is to get close enough where our Maverick is effective. Once we get a range to target come up in the left screen on the left side, that's it. And we're going to break out left, guys. Altitude is 6,000. We're doing pretty good. We'll stick right here. I'm going to try to get a really quick turn, and then we'll get on the weapon. There's our range. We're just out of range at 9.8 miles. I'm slowing the bird down because I don't want to get there too quickly. I want to be able to control what I'm doing. If we're lucky, we can just let it pick any other one too. We can just dump some missiles on these guys at that range. I'm ready to do so. Are you guys? All right, let's look at speed. Speed is okay. Let's trim up a little bit. Okay, you guys want to get a lock? Okay, target is locked. Missiles away. And she's not locking on anything else. So, let's get a turn. Let's turn and burn. We'll turn all the way out to the side. And we'll get it on autopilot so we can see that. Follow the weapon, hopefully. Let's get away from the land. Be on the safe side. Make our nice turn. Alright, guys. Gotta trim her out before I can get on that weapon. Autopilot is on. Alright, we have destroyed that target, guys. We have destroyed that target. Yep, Bakazato, I may stream again later, guys. Okay, guys, so we got another good hit. Let us verify range to target. And let's go back in, guys. Now, the funny thing is, we had the tank locked, but it ended up locking another target in there, which is okay. But you want to make sure if JTAC gives you need to kill a tank, then that's what you need to kill is a tank. Let's go ahead and get ahead of the game and get our TGP ready. Alright, and we're about 11 out, so let's try to do some serious work here before we get onto that bombing range and go rearm before we go to that long one. Back to the left, guys, we go. We're doing good on fuel, 5,400 pounds of fuel. Yeah, we'll definitely want to refuel and rearm before we go to the longer range. I believe it's like 70 miles out, and we got man pads and missile strikes and all that stuff that we can get there. So we'll practice on that as well, which is, again, missile and radar avoidance. All right, we're coming back around. Let's be mindful of the speed. Okay, we are still in the target area. Keeping that speed nice and slow. Let's start slowing while we're there and getting on something. Alright, guys, we're just going to hand fly it. No autopilot here. Because you got to get used to no autopilot. Alright, guys. Let's lock him up. And let's get our Maverick where we need to be. Let's make our Maverick soy. Let's zoom in and wait for a good target lock. We are 10 out. Altitude's looking good. Range to target 10 miles. Verified in the actual left MFD. Speed is right at 200. Okay, we're right at probably the top of our range. We should be able to get a lock here, guys. Any second. Okay, we do have a positive lock. Rifles. Let's try to get someone else, guys. Okay, let's use our TGP. What's our range to target? Oh, 7 miles. Nope, let's get out of here. Remember, better safe than sorry, guys. Let's roll out. Roll out. No gunfire. Then we'll go to the bombing range, select some targets, get some altitude, and drop some bombs. Alright, guys. Bam! We just restored a BTR, so that's good to go, guys. And we're doing good. Alright, let's go ahead and check our stores right now. Our speed is looking good. Our stores, let's see here. Where are our stores? Okay, we have one missile left, guys. We got one missile left. And then the rest of them, we have bombs. So let us get rid of this one last missile. We're 9 out. We'll use some TGP targeting. And let's do this, guys. Autopilot is off. Let's brake to the right this time. We're always doing a left turn. Let's brake off to the right, guys. Alright, fam. We are coming back around. Let's find another victim of circumstance. Okay, guys. Ooh, a juicy one. We found another victim of circumstance, guys. Let's go ahead and lock him up as sensor point of interest. Let's go ahead and get our Maverick back up. Range to target is 11 miles, perpendicular to us. Okay, let's go ahead and roll back in. Range to target is 11 miles. Range to target, or time to target, 2 minutes and 42 seconds. Looks like we got a tracked vehicle on our mind this time, guys. Alright, coming back. Range to target has came up on our Maverick. Again, we got to be close at our distance. We want to get it right at the top of that range, guys. We have a little bit of a potential foliage in front of us. Okay, let's try to get a lock. Let's go ahead and go over here. And we have a solid lock, guys. Rifles. Autopilot. Just give it a little bit of something, something. And let's follow our weapon, guys. So that's why the weapon always doesn't hit right when it should, guys. Maximo says, good gameplay, appreciate you. And guys, we're just on the training range right now. We got rid of all of our Mavericks. None of them were wasted. We pretty much had good hits on all of them. Alright, I think she's found her target. Bam! Okay, that was AAA destroyed. And again, we missed the track. We locked the track, but we got AAA in that lock. So even though we didn't get as close, those missiles, we'll probably need the hotels to get a better lock on that track, because we did have that track locked up. You know what? That kind of makes me mad. I almost want to drop a bomb on him. But we're not going to get greedy. Let's go on over now. Let's make our HUD soy. Booyah. And okay, the bomb target is 15 miles out. Let's pull back on our speed. Remember, I like to be situationally aware, guys, so let's go back on over to the TAD. Now look at that, guys. We definitely have these weapons not selected anymore. Well, they're selected, so you're going to use DMS left or right to switch your weapons. You see that? So you don't have to use the keyboard. You can use your HOTAS. And I believe we'll do some laser guided bombs first. Let's get into our profile. Keep our speed monitored. And our RWR looks good, but we are going to some enemy threats, so we'll turn here in a second. Profile, boom, boom, boom. It's a laser guided bomb. Let's view the profile. We're going to go single pairs. Ripple single, ripple pairs. Let's go 2. And we'll go CCRP. And you know what? Let's do pairs. We'll do pairs actually. DCRP. Let's change the setting. The laze time is going to be 10 seconds. The minimum altitude will be 1,000, guys. And you have to, this is a laser guided bomb, this auto LS, we need it on. We want to auto laze and ensure your laser's on. Lasing time is 10 seconds, 1,000 feet. Let's save the profile. And once you come back out here, it should be all accepted in here. GPU 12, we're all good to go. Now let's cycle back through that TAD and look where that waypoint is. So let's turn directly into the waypoint. Let's go ahead and hook it. Now watch this. I'm going to show you guys something here really quick. It's pretty cool. In the tactical display, this is another aircraft here, and he's a friendly, so it gives us information on what group he is if we wanted to send him a message, and range to distance. If you want to hook him, you could do TMS, I believe, up short, and it'll hook him. But we don't want to hook him. I mean, we're just hooking him now using our slew cursor. But now what we're going to do is we're going to come hook our target, and we need to turn to a heading of 232, and it is 20 miles out, guys. So let's get ready to do this. All right, let's make our turn. And actually, it'll be opposite of 232. It's giving us its distance and range to us. So we'll go the opposite, which is the opposite of 232, which is what we're doing. Alright, there we go, guys. Now we're going to be looking at the bombing range. We're almost done to our heading, and it's okay that we're getting a little bit of altitude. Thanks everybody for hanging out. Sorry I'm not able to talk as much, but I'm trying to keep us alive, as Bakazato would say. Dre, just keep us alive, Dre. Let's get out and verify where we want to be. There's the medium range, and then there's our new wedding cake at the bomb range, so we know we have our area selected appropriately. All right, and you can also see our targeting line come into place, because right now we have the overall waypoint selected as our guidance right now. Okay, but that doesn't mean that's where we're going to stay. Let's trim the aircraft out. Aircraft is being trimmed appropriately. Okay, we're going to go into the autopilot. You guys know what time it is. It's time to go hunting. Remember, these targets aren't just so easy to find. Let's go over to the targeting pod, and let's see what we can do here. Okay. 40 miles. Let's get a little closer. Let's back out. And let's see what we can bomb. I mean, I don't know if they want us to bomb buildings here. What do we have here? I think we saw some kind of target over here. I mean, let's say like we wanted to blow that up, we could. But whatever it is, let's make a decision quick, guys, because we are approaching the area. And, oh, what do we have over here? Oh, that's a little tree. We'll leave the trees alone, man. Just leave the trees alone. And sometimes your stuff you want to bomb actually is going to be a building. I'm not quite sure if we're supposed to be looking at buildings here. Let's also look using our HUD. Okay, let's scroll back out. So guys, I don't see any juicy vehicles to destroy. If I'm being completely honest with you, it might have to be a building. I like to destroy vehicles, but right now we're not getting any vehicles to destroy. And I really want to request and go rearm. We're at 4,600 pounds of fuel. What do we have over here? We're 9.5 out. Okay, so let's come back over here. And I think I like that one kind of right on the edge. If we're just going to destroy a building. I think it was right over here. There it is right here. Alright guys, just to show we can get our weapons on, let's make this our sensor point of interest. We got 7 miles to the target. Alright guys. And there we go. Okay. There we go. We got our target line. Everything is slewed. Let's go ahead and come over here now. And yeah, let's make this. Let's keep an eye on our dia. There we go. Weapons are ready. And range to target is 6 miles, guys. We're almost even right on the target, if that is it. Let's come back down here and slew a little bit. Break that lock. About right here. Alright, let's lock it up. Alright guys, so we're pretty much right on the target heading, so there's not much to do. It's kind of right on there, so let's yeah, once we get closer, actually you should get used to flying this not on autopilot because you're gonna have to turn. So let's keep the aircraft trimmed. We're at 7,600 feet. And of course my 20-year-old is calling me right now. I have to call you back. Okay, there's our weapons release. Weapons drop, weapons drop. Let's pull out. And I kind of feel like this bombing one is a waste if we can't find any vehicles. You know what? We might, on the way back, we might go up a little higher. And there we go. A tank has been destroyed, I guess, which was hiding in that bunker. So we did destroy it. We did destroy the tank. Oh, actually, not a tank. It was a water tank, and it was an enemy tank. So we hit our target, guys. We hit our target. Bacalzado says bring her home in one piece. And there we go, guys. I really don't feel like we need any more bombing training. Let's go back and rearm. And maybe go out for the further target, because we only have 4,700 pounds of fuel. And let's see, the hard target is 56 miles from here. Yeah, we don't have fuel, guys, so let's bring it back to the barn with what we have. Let's see, we got even numbers, so we're okay. Yeah, bombing is pretty easy for me, guys. Bombing isn't as fun as the Maverick acquisition and all that. And there's really nothing that I want to see super destroyed unless we go over the medium range, of course. Let's come back up top here to Let's see where the medium one is in comparison to here. Maybe we might drop something over there. We'll see. Yeah, but I think we had a good run. Let's go back and rearm and refuel. Because really that hard range is something that I want to get my hands on. So I'm going to show you guys how to get back home safely. And we are going to land on the same runway we took off. That'll make it easier for our taxi. So we're actually going to turn our TGP off so we can go to standby. We want to take this and go back to the CDU. We'll continue our nice little right turn. Or left turn, I'm sorry. Alright, we're going to come up here and do function 2. 2. We're going to come down here now that this page has changed to divert. And we're going to Anderson Air Force Base. So there's the information there. There's the ILS 11010. So as we continue our turn at 9,000, that's fine. Let's let's get our ILS stuff in here. $110.10 is the key. Alright, 110.10, and let's turn it on. Alright, 110.10, ILS is on. As well as, let's get it down here. And you can see we are definitely far out. As well as, we can get our weapons off now. And we can go over to the pad. And now we can take a look at exactly where we're going. Now you can definitely see we don't want to go over that island because there's enemies down there. So the last thing we're going to do is go over that island. So we're going to kind of go back out the way we came, guys. Keeping ourselves safe away from that island because they will shoot you down. One day I was messing around on this server and notice we're about 10,000 feet up. That helps too, but they can still reach out and touch you, so don't get that twisted. Alright guys, so we can basically burn as much fuel as we want, and we're headed back to base for a rearm and refuel. So these ranges were pretty easy. The next range that we're going to really be interested in is going to be the harder range with the sights there. But again, we're just doing this training. And you know what? I might be streaming X-Play in here in a little bit. So you never know, guys. We might just land and call that good. Now there's another aircraft out there. Let's go ahead and get our pad as soy. Let's just double check and see who he is. Okay, he's a friendly. Alright guys, we're 26 miles off from landing. We'll be reducing some speed here and all that stuff in a second, and we'll go back and touch down. And then once we touch down, we'll figure out exactly what we're going to do as far as getting up out of here. Let's come back and make our... And we didn't even use our helmet symbology here. Actually, we can get that off. That's more annoying when you don't need it. So let's turn the helmet symbology off. Okay, see, we're just above that island, and you can see down there they still have some red tags on. Well, that's a hot zone down there, man. You don't want to be down there. Alright, so it's going to be runway 24. So we'll be switching our course heading just to keep ourselves orientated. Here we go, a nice view. Don't worry, we're going to dive down here in a second and drop some altitude, guys. We're not going to do an overhead brake or anything. We're just going to get in there standardly. Baco Sato says, bring her home one piece. I can take a couple of hits, but if we get shot down, we down. No hits today, Bakazato. We're practicing being safe today, homie. Hey guys, pretty much we're on a long downwind, super high up. Let's trim her down for level flight and autopilot. And let's get our course heading now of 240. Now we can basically come right a little bit so we can be on a perfect downwind for the runway. So we're going to go to a heading of about 60 here. And let's start getting the aircraft ready for our arrival. Hard's back on. Actually pushed the wrong button. Still on. There we go. Alright guys. Put this back in the nav mode. And if you guys ever do want to check the elevation of the field, just really quick, hover your TAD over here, and field elevation is 550, so patterning elevation could easily be 1500 to 2000. Traffic, A10 C2 is downwind of runway 24. Will be announcing base turn, full stop, runway 24 left for Anderson field traffic. Alright guys, nobody's been communicating on the SRS, but that's alright. We're 13 miles out and the field is right over there, guys, so we have a nice situation right off the coast. Okay, we're about 5,000, so we're doing good. Kind of pitch up. And actually, we'll be doing, I lied, we're going to do 24 right. Because there's some parallel runways. So we're going to do 24 right, guys. Okay, we still got a little bit to go, so we can kind of... Right now, we're not even in autopilot. I'll get ready to put autopilot in here in a minute. Let's keep our speed modest. Let's go autopilot, get some flybys going on here, guys. So you can see all of our Mavericks are gone. We dropped on the pylons there. You can see there's only 2 bombs per pylon right next to those CVUs. So we got rid of 2 because we dropped them in pairs. Alright guys, so I'm almost comfortable with getting ready to do our base turn. Let's go autopilot off. And still a little bit shallow on the turn, but let's hand fly it the rest of the way. And guys, hope you guys are doing well. Thanks for checking out. We were pretty successful on our 1 bomb run. I just feel like the bombing is not what I need training on. I'm pretty good with the bombs. Locking up multiple targets on 1 run is what I still need to practice on. You can see we had to do a couple of turns, and sometimes we were only, I think the most we killed is 2 targets in 1 run. So I want to get it to where I can get 3 or 4 targets in 1 run while staying safe, you know, relatively. If you were doing the technical way here in DCS, you would call inbound. So we would go with ATC F5, Anderson Air Force Base, which is F1, and then we would say inbound.
Roar 3-1, inbound.
So we are Roar 3-1. They're probably not going to say anything though, because we haven't been using ATC. All right, we're at 5,200. I feel confident in our turn now. Let's go down. Let's start going down to pattern altitude. And we'll bring her in, guys. Once we make our nice little base turn, which we could just do our base right based off that heading. The ILS is going to come alive here soon. So we do have the power on and we do have ILS selected there. And we're only 12 miles out, guys. Speed is looking good. Engines are nice and quiet. And look at that, 3,700 pounds of fuel. So it was definitely a good call coming back. There's no way we would have made it to the that other range, folks. Let's get autopilot on. Now let's go ahead and make it a safe aircraft. We can do gun pack off, master arm off, TGP can come off, laser can come off. Let's get the landing lights on in preparation for landing. And let's also get anti-collision is on. So we're good there, guys. Alright, let's continue our descent. ILS hasn't fully came alive. It's got us on the other side of it right now, which is fine. We do have 110.10 in the ILS, 110.10 in the ILS looks to be turned on. Miles. Alright guys, we're pulling back that power. We'll be getting our gear out here shortly. And hopefully we'll be on the ground here. And maybe we'll just shut her down actually and just do an X-plane, get ready for X-plane. Okay, there's the field there. You can see the runways. Okay, now you can see the ILS bar is working. It's going to start getting where we need to be to give us our information to line up with the ILS. Speed is looking good. 7 miles out, guys. Alright guys, a little little bit of that breakout. Landing gear is coming down. Flaps are down. I think we can go ahead and maybe land at flaps 2. We have a little bit of weight. We're not completely empty. All right, folks, there's our runway. Anderson traffic A10 C2 bore 31 is on the final approach for runway 24 right's full stop for Anderson traffic. All right, guys, readjust foot on the rudder pedals. Landing gears down, 3 green flaps are to our position. We have a little bit of our speed brakes out, which the A10 lands with speed brakes, in case you guys were wondering. Speed is looking good. You want to keep it right between 155 and pretty much 150 till you're on that final slope.
Altitude, altitude.
And trust, Bitch and Betty will keep your game tight. Start our flare. Pulling back on that power. All right, she's down. Okay, brakes are coming all the way out as far as the speed brakes. Speed is bleeding. All right, guys. Start moving off to the left to the right side here. Let's get our nose wheel on. Nose wheel steering is on. She gets a little squarely. Remember, those rudder pedals on DCS are super sensitive. And we made it back, guys. Nice landing. Appreciate you guys. There goes an F-16, or that looks like a Tomcat over there. Somebody online in that Tomcat joint. Welcome back to Anderson Field. Yep, he looks like he's waiting. So we'll go ahead and vacate here, guys. Alright, taxi lights being activated. And we have made it back, and I don't think we'll do another run. I think I'll just probably get X-Plane ready, which will stop the stream, and I'll need to get some things ready. I gotta switch some controllers over. But we did make it back, guys. Welcome back to Anderson Field, folks. Anderson traffic, A10C2 crossing runway 06 right. Continue taxiing to the south right. It's clear. All right, let's get these situations off, because we don't need them. Get that APU going. All right, we are getting that APU up and running. We also want to disarm the ejection seat. There we go. Turn the HUD off. Alright guys, we're going to go into our little turnbuckle over here. turn our aircraft around and we will be here, guys. Then we'll take a look at the map, even though we're not going to go do another run, because I do want to try to get an X-Plane stream in today as well, guys. There's a lot more to teach about this aircraft, as far as putting in points, reading a 9-line and all that stuff. There's also a lot more to learn about this aircraft myself. If you remember when we first came out, we came right out of this one of these buckles. Alright guys, we are here, ensuring the brake. Let's get those taxi lights off. Let's get the anti-collisions off. Anti-collisions off. Let's go for APU generator on. And let's shut her down. Alright, we are rolling back on some engines. Let's go ahead and turn the nose wheel steering off. We have all of our rest of our avionics off, guys. Canopies open. Let's get our radios off. Not that anybody talked to us, but that's standard on these type of servers. Okay, radios are off and confirmed. Let's get the SAS off. And bada bing, anti-skid can come off. Boom, 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 boom. Alright, let's get the CDU and the Iggy off, guys. CDU and Iggy are off. Bada bing, bada boom. Gotta make sure we turn all of our stuff off, guys. We don't want to be any troublemakers for the next person using the aircraft. Bada bing, bada boom. You can hear somebody dropping something out there. You guys hear that boom? Bada bing, bada boom. So guys, we successfully navigated this Marianas map, and now we can go for a full aircraft shutdown. Turn the inverter off, and finally battery off. Now we are back to the state of the aircraft that we find it. No scratches, no burns, Baccazato, nothing like that. Let's go outside and take a look at our aircraft. The flaps are going to go down once the aircraft, not that we intentionally didn't put them up. The aircraft is automatically going to flap down like that. So we got a pretty good parking on the way back, guys. You know, we basically did our Mavericks, which is my main mission. I definitely am going to do some more training on those longer ranges, which I've done pretty well on them. But I wanted to bring you guys along, but I want to keep it realistic as possible. Hogfly says, what's up, Dre? Sorry guys, I wasn't that interactive with you guys. Rob Christie, you are a multiplayer server. Yes, I was, Rob Christie. Same as what I am working on tonight. Multiple marks, multiple weapons, one pass. There you go. Good evening. Thanks, Rob Christie, for checking in, man. Sorry I wasn't as interactive with you guys on the chat. But nonetheless, guys, I'm going to probably switch some controls out. It may be a little longer. My goal is to stream still tonight X-Plane, so hopefully that happens, and then you guys might see me back here in a minute. We're definitely going to be doing more DCS, flying more missions, getting on more servers, guys. Hopefully Leo Sticks 86 will be back in the house, and Rob Christie, Hog Flies, if you guys want to fly along anytime on DCS, please jump in. I'll always try to do multiplayer servers first. I'll check them out before I do it, because DCS will crash on you, as you guys know. So Rob Christie, man, I see you're doing your same thing. If you're interested, send me a chat or comment on this platform through YouTube, and we can get on it, guys. And that's for everybody else. In the meantime, big up, guys. Hope to see you guys soon on X-Plane. I don't know where I'm flying, but we'll be flying something, because I'm jonesing. Just wanted to get some DCS in, and we were able to get some DCS in. And alright guys, I'm up out of here. Wish you guys well, and I'll hopefully see you guys soon, man. So without that being said, we out.